So namaste, Tumkur.
Namaste, sir.
Good to hear your response because I would like to make it two ways. I'm sure you all have dreams and goals in your life. You might be wishing to become engineers, entrepreneurs, artists, sports personalities, coaches, and so on. Let me clarify the definition of these three types of people among us. Scholars are those who have learned or in the process of learning, that is the formal education. I would say we should all be in the process of learning because learning is a process that should never stop until we die. Now, talking about a scroller. Thanks to the advanced digital medias and apps like Facebook and Instagrams and other apps which I may not be even aware of, we are all become scrollers. I don't want to criticize the technology here, but then it can work in two ways. Sadly, most of us, especially being youngsters, we are using in the wrong way. Typically, scrollers are giving the control of their life to others. They are more interested in peaking the life of others. I'm talking about a true scholar. A true scholar learns from formal and informal education. We all know about formal education. We could be learning from schools, colleges, universities, and so on. However, informal education is something that everyone should learn apart from this formal education. For informal education, there are many sources. It could be your friends, events like this, digital medias, internet. Even life teaches you many life lessons. Please have an open mind to recognize these life lessons and learn it duly. If you closely study the life of successful people, you will notice that most of the people are true scholars. They are both learned formal and informal education. Apart from this, these people are going to make their life a happy and peaceful. So it is very important to learn both formal and informal education. Now that we have decided to become a true scholar, I hope at least we have decided that, right? I would like to hear an answer. Very good. So how are we going to become a true scholar? How is that possible? How are we going to make that? Before telling you that, I would like to tell you a small story. It's an inspiring story of a villager. Once in a small village, there lived an old farmer. He had his two grown-up sons. The old farmer had 10 acres of dry and barren lands. The old man tried his best to cultivate on that, but sadly in vain. Since the land was unfertile, he couldn't cultivate anything on it. Being worried about the same, the old man fell seriously ill. Knowing that his death is quite near, he made necessary documents, and distributed the 10 acres of his land to his two sons. Soon, after some time, the old man died. His two sons, being illiterate, didn't know what to do for a living. The elder son sold his ancestral property for a meager sum and started blaming his father for just leaving 5 acres of dry and barren land. However, on the other hand, the younger son started to think to make use of the barren land. Next, the young brother went to city and consulted many government agriculture departments and learned about the fertility and non-fertility of lands. He understood that barren lands can be made into fertile, given effort and time. Further, he visited many other villages and studied the lands, different lands, and their structures, everything. Soon, the younger brother had an idea in his mind. He came back to his own village and started asking people to dump all their household waste on his part of his land. Although people did it quite gladly, many of his friends, relatives, and even his elder brother called him a dirt-carrying bag and laughed at him. However, the younger brother didn't bother about these critics and went on to collect the garbages from the nearby villages as well. He also invested money on quarry dust and sawdust and spread it on his barren land. He had to sell 3 acres of his dry land to invest on this and to make a living for himself. He continued doing this for 2 years. After 2 years, his dry and barren land became fertile. Astonishingly for others, but knowingly for younger brother, he started getting very good yields from his fertile land. Friends, the moral of this story is quite simple and applies to our lives as well. Anything barren, be it lands or our minds, can be made fertile, provided we give efforts and time and hard work. So the takeaway of this story is impossible is possible when you want to make it possible and when you walk in the right path and when you invest hard efforts and time. Let me tell you a funny story here. Once the aliens were quite worried. They understood that humans are becoming much smarter and intelligent, and if given way, they could invade this space as well. They decided to import a special idea in the mind of a genius on Earth. And friends, that's how the Facebook was created. And you all very well know the name of the creator. Any guesses? Very good. So since then, many other geniuses, they started creating other social media accounts, apps, and since then, the aliens are living a happy and peaceful life because the humans are spending most of their time on the social media accounts and peeking in the life of others. Jokes apart, I have nothing against the social media. All my concern is the way we are using it. It has become one of the biggest distractions. Without social medias and mobiles, we are not able to live. We have come to that stage. Now hoping that you all will avoid these distractions and find the traction in your life. Let's climb up the second step. And please remember the slogan, I can and I will. Our world is imperfect because it is meant to be so. Just imagine if everything was perfect, our life would have been such a boring, isn't it? Let me ask you one simple question. How many of you would like to be comfortable? Any hands, please? You can rise, no problem, it's okay. Humans, I can understand the human mentality. We all love to be comfortable. So let me reverse the question again. How many of you don't mind being uncomfortable? I would like to see the hands again. Good to see so many hands. So what can we do? The sad part is, comfort doesn't support success or growth. This is the harsh truth. Comfort never supports growth and your dreams. So what can we do is, we need to get comfort with being uncomfortable. This simply means you have to get used to being uncomfortable. Yet it doesn't feel good being uncomfortable. But then, if you want to be successful and if you want to achieve something, you have to take that chance. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, then you have to put that extra efforts too. I know it feels very good to sleep in the extra hours of that early morning and to go up to the bed quite early. It's funny, we desire so many extras in our life, in everything, even if it's pizza, stuffing, or even for that pani puri wala for that matter. We all are asked him, ek aur sukha puri dena bhaiya. We do all these things. We want extras in our life. This is the harsh truth. But the ironic part is, none of us are ready to put that extra in our own life, which can make us, which can help us in achieving success, or which can take us to a happy and peaceful life.